Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, way too early. Daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. Wednesday, hump day, 2024. Hope you guys are starting the year off right, productive, positive, pounding all your protein. Make sure you're getting your macros in. Pay attention to your diet. Work out all the time. Study, pray. If you guys need help trying to get on the right path, you can contact me. I do coaching and mentoring. What a big airplane. I'm not anywhere near an airport. What a big giant airplane going overhead. That's unusual. I almost never, I can't tell you when the last time I ever heard an airplane over my house. It must be lost. Orlando's that way, buddy. I got compared to Wes Watson again. I think that's hilarious. It makes me laugh. Every time I get compared to Wes Watson, I get a good chuckle out of it, a good giggle. I don't really feel like that I'm similar to him, but maybe some of you guys see me that way because I shaved my head and I got tattoos and from the streets, whatever, but I don't feel like Wes Watson. I'm a lot older than that guy. I could be his father. I don't know if you guys really understand that. I'm a much older man than Wes Watson. When Wes was born, I was gangbanging. I've met countless guys like that, these Peckerwoods who are all full of steroids and full of themselves and think they're shot callers, talk about how they ran this prison yard and ran that prison yard. When they get back out on the streets, when these motherfuckers bounce out of the joint back into the street world, they don't get shot caller status. So when a guy like Wes were to drop back out into the streets, he would have to pay some dues and to prove himself all over again. He'd have to prove his loyalty. He would be heavily, heavily watched. He would not be given anything really to do that would make him any money or give him any kind of status. He would be on a probationary period. And I've seen this countless times, and these guys get out and they think that they're gonna be given gifts and praised because they just did time. You're so hot, motherfucker, we have to wait for you to cool off. So I don't feel like a guy like Wes Watson. I feel like a guy that could mentor Wes Watson. I could bring Wes Watson down to earth very easily. I've done that many times before in the past. Had to bring these guys down to earth. But let's get on to what type of people you might want to avoid. I don't usually tell you who you should hang out with, but let's go through several different types of people that you might want to avoid. And some of you may get offended by this list because you may be on the list. You may be a type of person that I'm suggesting to avoid, in which case maybe you need to change. Change is possible. Avoid unhappy people, people who are unhappy in general. I'm not saying they're bad people, but if somebody has a current through their life of unhappiness, you know what I mean, where they are kind of always unhappy. It's like this vibe they have. Whether it's last week or next month or next year, they're always just kind of down. They're not like a bright and bubbly person. Now, you don't have to hang out with weirdos like from a Disney movie, some fake ass motherfucking Ned Flanders type like from The Simpsons. But really unhappy people should be avoided. Unlucky people. You ever met anybody unlucky? Oh, I have a story about the unluckiest man in the world. You can go find it. I told it maybe a year or so ago. I bet you that motherfucker's dead now. When I was friends with him, he got shot, stabbed, hit by a car. I mean, it was every other week this guy would be in bandages and with cane or crutches or in a wheelchair. I mean, it's terrible. He got stabbed in the chest right on Crenshaw. It's a street in Los Angeles by his ex-girlfriend. He's on his phone talking. He's out front of a restaurant. She runs up on him, turns him around, stabs him in the chest with a fucking ice pick. His ex-girlfriend, the unluckiest guy in the world. Stay away from unlucky motherfuckers, man. Stay away from the perpetually broke. I'm not going to tell you to stay away from broke people, because not everybody who's broke is perpetually broke. Some people are perpetually broke. You know anybody like that? I do. I have people in my peripherals who are on the edges of my world, who I see every once in a while. I'm still friends with, but we don't really hang out or do business together or anything, but I know them. An acquaintance, I guess. I have acquaintances who have been on welfare since they were born. They were born on welfare. Their parents are still alive and currently on welfare, and their parents have been on welfare since they were born. This generational poverty, these types of people, it's a mindset. It's a brainwashed mindset of people who are perpetually broke, and they will bring you down. That's why I'm trying to tell you to avoid these types of people, is because these types of people will absolutely bring you down. Stay away from the drama queen, but you got to understand there's certain people who go through a season of drama, and that's fine. We all do. But there's the lifer, the drama queen for life, where every time you talk to them, they tell you the craziest, weirdest shit. It's always this nightmare within their family, within their relationships, at their job, wherever. No matter where they go, what they do, shit's always happening. And they're kind of similar. The drama queen is kind of similar to the unlucky motherfucker, where you just can't understand it. It's just like, I understand a little bit of bad luck, but you're drawing this stuff to yourself. The drama queen does that too. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm using the word queen. There's lots of guys who are drama queens. Lots of you motherfuckers out there. Lots of big tough guys. Big tough tattoo guys. Guys like Wes Watson. A bunch of little drama queens. I don't know Wes, but I would guarantee you he's always got some kind of weird shit going on in his life. I guarantee it. I just sense that about him. Stay away from unhealthy people. Physically unhealthy. And again, none of this is written in stone. These aren't the 10 Commandments. I'm not Moses coming down from the mountain with this shit. But if you know somebody who's perpetually unhealthy, they are not going to the doctor. They are not going to psychiatrists or life coaches or mentors. They are not trying to read, study. They're not trying to engage in a positive program of mind, body, and soul. They are not trying to eat right. They are not trying to live right. They may be on drugs. They may abuse themselves. Unhealthy people, stay away from them. Now here's one that you may not understand. Stay away from saints. Stay away from saints. A saint is very unrealistic. It's a fantasy. And it's usually this self-identification. I don't have to buy into your identity. You may see yourself as a saint. I don't. I'm not buying it. There's some guys that see themselves as totally innocent, and there's this victimization that comes along with innocence where everything happens to them. It happened to me. Oh, I had nothing to do with it. This happened to me. And these are similar to the unlucky people or the drama queen. Because the saint has never done anything wrong. The world happens to them. The saint is perfect. Every story they tell, everything that goes on with them, they're always perfect. Innocent, completely innocent. It's a lie. Stay away from the saints. But if you're going to stay away from the saints, you're going to have to also stay away from the sinners. Now, the sinners is obvious. There's some people out there, man, that are just straight up naughty. Just naughty people. And they never grow out of it. They were like that when they were kids. Little devious, little monsters, little brat motherfuckers, always getting into shit, always doing fucked up shit. They're like that when they're young, and they're like that when they're old. I know some old men who are just sinners for life. And they will backstab you, rob you, shit on you, piss on you, fuck your girl. They don't care. They will laugh. since I was compared to Wes Watson, I can't get that shit out of my head, because I look at him as just another part of this fraudulent online coaching world. There's a lot of these guys who are shysters, who are scam artists, and I'm not saying that they're not rich. This guy is obviously rich because he's getting lots and lots of views on YouTube. He makes $40,000 a day on YouTube, according to his own reports. I wouldn't mind making $40,000 a day. Even when I was a drug dealer in the streets, I never made $40,000 a day. I don't have a super mansion. But guys like that are absolutely fraudulent in the way that they pre-package a shallow message and spit it out to the world. And when you're new to the self-help game, when you're just on your beginning steps on your path of personal growth, the generic may sound new, and it is new to you. So when you hear Wes Watson for the first time, you hear Andrew Tate for the first time, and you're on this path of trying to be stronger and better, that can be very enticing, in the same way that evangelical messages can be enticing. But as soon as you study the Bible more and you get into it more on a personal level, you realize that evangelical preachers are all bullshit, that it's nonsense, that it's shallow, they're not really diving into these stories, it's a bunch of nonsense, and you outgrow it quickly, and you can't even stand listening to it. And this is the way I feel about a lot of these online coach people like Wes Watson. There's a whole list of them. I get bored of them instantly. Within a couple words of listening to Andrew Tate talk, I get instantly bored. But that may be because of the level that I'm at. I think that people like Jocko Willink is a little bit more in-depth, and I like him. There's a whole bunch of people out there that are a little bit deeper, that have more depth to them. So the final one on my list, because I'm rambling, is stay away from frauds. And you can recognize them, or at least begin to start recognizing them if you're not very good at it. It's all food for thought. Have a good day.